Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Lynette. I live in Sarasota, Florida. I'm a mom of 4, and I feel like I am constantly juggling the mom life, work life balance. We are a busy family. We are on the go quite a bit, but I still need to have my home function well and be able to just, manage things on a day-to-day level. So I'm hoping this video will give you some motivation, first of all, and also encouragement. And maybe I can share a few tips along the way as to things that I try to do on a daily or several times a week basis to help my house stay in order and me not becoming overwhelmed. So I'll share some things throughout this video that I hope will help you in some way. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. I would love that. Diving right in, we did have quite a mess going on tonight because I made crepes for dinner and it just ended up taking a lot of different pans. I did bacon, things like that, and I'd also been in the kitchen that day, most of the day, just doing baking and things like that. So it was just a lot of stuff to clean up, and sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming, but sometimes it's also nice to just tackle it. The kids were, most of them were outside playing, and they usually help clean off the table, bring things over, and then I'm generally the one who will rinse and, load the dishwasher. And so that brings me to my first tip or habit that I generally try to do pretty consistently. If you have a dishwasher, I like to have the thing filled at night and wash it maybe, right before you go to bed. You turn it on, and in the morning you can empty it out and you'll have it empty again for the rest of the day, and you can put your dirty dishes in as you go throughout your day and hopefully have enough room for the evening dishes. Now, that did not happen this evening. Just depends how much you're doing at home during the day, but that really helps me a lot if I have a dishwasher clean and ready to go in the morning. So if you watched the last couple of my videos, you may have heard me mention, at least in one or two of them, that I have been loving a new to me planner. It is called the Confident Mom Planner, and I am not a planner person, so me even talking about a planner is quite something. I've tried to use planners, the typical ones, in the past, and I never seem to actually use them properly. I might last for a week and then I forget about them, basically. So this one is something that focuses on cleaning throughout your home, and I would say that I am definitely not someone who can deal with clutter or dirt and things for a very long time. I will tend to get after it. I'm not one to just be able to sit if I see that there's things that need to be done. So I'm not a procrastinator, I guess, and that does help me. However, in the course of having, 4 children, my life gets busier. I run a business here at home, and being a mom is a full-time job just at that. And so there are things I've had to adjust throughout the years where at one point I might have been able to do like a once a week cleaning. And while I would like to do that, it's not really feasible for me in my stage of life. And so I was feeling just a little, I guess, overwhelmed with the daily tasks. And while I can keep up with some of those relatively easy, if you have some sort of routine, I felt like there's corners that didn't get done, and there's a lot of times I would just kind of like clean it as I go, which can work, but then there's no consistency or rhyme or reason to the cleaning. And that bothers me because I like to know that, I'm kind of covering what I need to. And so this planner focuses on daily tasks, basically weekly tasks that are broken down into daily tasks. And it might take you 15 minutes to do this. It might take you half an hour. It really depends. But she breaks down all the things to clean throughout your home into manageable tasks for almost every day. Sundays are generally not much on it at all. and you can adjust this yourself. It's a PDF that you buy for like $29, plus I have a 10% off discount code for you. It's linked in my description box. And then you'll customize this PDF. If you see that she has something on it that you don't feel like applies to you, you can adjust it and make it fit your family. So it takes all the brain work out of it, and it kind of forces me to try and get these things accomplished every day. If I don't get it done, it's not a big deal because I know it'll come around. And she just does little things, that you might not think about. Maybe she'll put down, clean under the kitchen sink, tidy it up. And that might come around, I don't know, maybe, every couple months or something like that. And just little things like maybe cleaning your air vent. She breaks it down and takes all that brain work out of it for me. So if you're interested in something like this, go check it out in my description box. I feel like it's majorly been helping me the last month or two. So I thought I would just talk about that for a little bit. And yes, I am multitasking here. I don't know if you've picked up as to what I'm doing, but I was giving my son Jackson his spelling words. He usually has to do those, multiple times a week after school for homework. And so I decided, well, I can clean while he does those. So multitasking at its finest, right? So after every meal, I like to wipe down my oven if possible. Sometimes there's not much to do on it, but especially with a glass cooktop like this, you see every little thing. And while it's not always spotless, it's something that I try not to let build up because it's just going to make it worse. So that's a very basic tip. I feel a little dumb to even say it, but just clean up your spills, as soon as your oven cools down or whatever. Don't let it sit until the next time because it's just going to feel more overwhelming and add to your already long to-do list, right? So the other thing that I do almost daily is vacuum my kitchen. And this is something I do even more often than what she has in her planner. So this might vary from, your house to mine as to how dirty your floors are. But I generally, will run my stick vac, my Shark or something almost every day, especially at the end of the day. This is a fairly recent purchase that I have. It's the Tinaco. It's a wet mop vac. I actually got rid of my robot vac because I like this one way better. I just find it much easier. It's not something I use every day, although you could definitely use it every day if you wanted. But it's something that I use for my in-between floor cleaning, if you will. I would not consider it something to deep clean your floors with, but it does the in-between things, and you can see how dirty that water is just from my floors here in a couple areas. It self-cleans, so once you're done with it, you can set it back on its base and hit the one button on the vacuum and it'll clean out the brush roll for you. And so it's something you can do manually or it'll do itself. So you have, the one little canister up top that you fill with water, and then the bottom one is where the dirty water goes in. And I'm just shocked and amazed at the amount of dirt that goes into that, even if you do it every day. So I want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Walnut Creek Foods. I have worked with them for years now, and I always love talking to you guys about their products. If you're not at all familiar with who I'm talking about, this is what the logo looks like. Has a little horse and buggy on it. Basically, Walnut Creek Foods is a food distribution company that is based in Holmes County, Amish country, and it's something that I grew up using, like their products and things. They specialize in a lot of deli meats, cheeses, bulk food items, canned goods. They make a wide variety of things themselves. as far as foods go, and they also will package and distribute foods to stores across the United States. So you'll find them in a lot of different bulk food stores, or maybe gas stations, convenience stores, grocery stores, things like that. Typically, you'll find them in Amish Mennonite communities. They have a Walnut Creek cheese store, actually 2 of them in Holmes County, and I've shown them numerous times in our Holmes County videos. I would definitely recommend you go check them out when you're in the area. I know locals obviously know about it and all of that, but let me know if you do go there what you like to buy there. The Walnut Creek location is a really cool place to visit. They have a cafe upstairs, they have a home goods section, housewares, they have a cannery section, they've got just your normal grocery items, lots of bulk foods, things like that. Very interesting to go to, kind of like a one-stop shop, if you will. But they also have an online website, which is called walnutcreekcheese.com. You can go online and place a shipping order if you wish. And you can use my code Lynette for 10% off of your online order. I always loved getting the trail bologna from there. Their meats, cheeses are always just really, really good. I'll leave my link in the description box down below. There's not too much better feeling than getting your kitchen all cleaned up and knowing it's going to be clean in the morning when you wake up. At least that's my opinion. It took me almost an hour and a half, and that's not normal for me every night at all. I did have the extra refrigerator cleaning a couple of the drawers and stuff that I wouldn't normally do, but that was on the list or on the planner for the day, so I kind of made myself do it, and it's something that I would have pushed off. So while we're in the laundry room, I thought I would just talk about my laundry and how I keep that under control. I know it's different for everyone, and size families matter and make a difference. I feel like my laundry is never ending. I never realized just how much laundry I would do. And it's not my favorite chore. And so if there is something I can sometimes procrastinate on, it is the putting away of the laundry. I just don't like it, But it does need to get done, and I find that if I do 1 to 2 loads a day, it helps me and it's not so unmanageable. So I try to do that. Some days I miss it, but other days if I'm home, I try to throw a load in first thing in the morning. So I get up and put a load in, and it'll dry pretty quickly, and I can get it put away even in the forenoon if I'm on it. So sometimes it sits around for a day or 2, let's be real, but that is what I do for my laundry. And you can see what I'm doing here with the cleaning part of it. You can just kind of clean out the parts of that Tenneco, and it works really well. Here's a look at the planner I've been talking about, just a little bit of a glance. It's very straightforward, easy, and you can check off your little boxes if you like that sort of thing. There's a place for a menu plan and also a place for notes, and you have daily things you can check off, and then also some extra weekly items that don't come around as often. So there's just that little look at it if you're interested. All right, so as I come to the end of my evening here, I have relaxed in how cleaned up my house is when I go to bed, but I just want to reiterate, I feel like it makes the biggest difference for me if I can go to bed and have my house cleaned up and I wake up in the morning and it's all clean. There's just not a lot of better feelings in my opinion. So if you haven't done that, maybe try it for a couple weeks and see how it works for you. But after I'm done, I generally, shower at some point and take a little time to just refresh and rejuvenate. I have been loving the Oliveda skincare line and also some from Crunchy, non-toxic skincare, and it's a very easy skincare line. You don't have to use a lot of products and stuff. I really like them. So that's something that I've been enjoying of late. I won't go into detail very much, but yeah, it's just a kind of the way I usually end my evenings. And good morning. I am showing you a little bit of my morning. I usually get up between 6:30, generally closer to 6:30. Depends on if I hit the snooze, but I like to be able to get up for, 45 minutes or an hour before the kids get up at least. And I generally pack my boys' lunches, get that all ready to go, and then I have my coffee. I usually make an Americano, and then I like to have my quiet time and just either sit outside or sit in my chair in the living room. And this morning I had some Dunkers, which is my favorite. I get them at Trader Joe's. But yeah, I do that, and a lot of mornings Nick takes the boys to school. Sometimes I do, depending on his schedule, but that's really nice for me, is if he can do those runs. And then we'll have breakfast. That's not something is super scheduled or anything. It's just kind of depends what we're doing, if we're leaving the house or not, or if we want cereal or eggs or whatever the case. But I am doing my load of laundry, like I mentioned, and I've been trying out different non-toxic laundry things, but I won't go into too much detail. But another thing I like to try and do is I obviously make my bed every day, and I try to get my boys to make their beds as well. I feel like that just sets us up for a good day, and you can be more productive. So I don't have too much to say besides this, so I hope you enjoyed it. That is going to conclude today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know what type of videos you enjoy seeing from me the most. I would love that. Just gives me ideas. I tend to not film the same things over and over because I enjoy variety. Make sure you check out Walnut Creek in the description box below and see what they have. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.